Hello and welcome to the Kundalini podcast. That was Zen. This is Tao. I'm Vivek Kovekar. Namaste. This is the long-awaited episode 107. I know I made a coming soon teaser about it and then didn't deliver for a while. Yeah, life caught up with me. Many things going on at once. But I decided, okay, let me make this. And I got a few emails and comments, asking for an episode about certain things. So here goes. An important thing that I would like to talk about is the actual Kundalini process. What this had become because of COVID, because of my long gap and me involving my personal story and its experiences and what I've learned from it. What got left behind was the actual description of my Kundalini process and how it's unfolding currently in my back. So what do I have to report about that? Several things. If you've been a watcher of both my series, the one that was in its previous avatar up to episode 69, and then the last few episodes from 70 to this one, 107, you've been seeing various things that I mentioned about my Kundalini process. One of them being the constant appearance of depression during winter time. And also periods of ecstasy, periods of great learning, amazing revelations, insights, which I share, and that becomes the self-help aspect of these videos. But today I'd like to focus again on just the process itself and what it's doing right now. First of all, the depression is gone, thank God. And the best way to describe it is because of attachments from my previous self, the relationships I was in, the influence they had on me, repeated patterns because of that, and how much strife it was creating in my mind, I couldn't fully realize the benefits of the Kundalini process. For that, I had to deal with the depression. You cannot separate personal life and its flaws, pitfalls from the Kundalini process and what it's trying to get you out of and put some new things in you. So that journey for me culminated in me moving to California. It's not as cold. There's not a snow during winter time. It's beautiful lake and great weather most of the time. Sometimes it does get cold and that also exists. But by and large, the conducive factors to causing me a depression were gone during the winter time. Now, my life is still dependent on knowing the solstices and the equinoxes and the changes those energies bring about in the solar system that we live in, sun, moon, earth, and the resultant effects on the human psyche, aligning with the best energies, making the best of them, and avoiding the worst emotional conflicts, strife, problems that are caused by the bad aspects like winter time. So not being in snow, not being in a bad relationship, all helps. But now, and this is the part I'd like to report in this video, I actually get to see what this process would have been had I not had to deal with those things over a prolonged period of time. So, for example, after my Kundalini awakened, if I had immediately moved to the best surroundings, got the best treatment, did the mantras and found all of those things out without trial and error, somebody guiding me, I'm at the end of that today. Meaning, instead of the depression, what do I have? Instead of the depression, I have that joy that I would do with my process in my old house. I would go into the shower, go into the bathtub, put on music, go into meditation, concentrate, do breathing exercises, and go into a state where I am not, meaning all these strivings of the mind, the dichotomies, the duality, and it all becomes one witnessing, observing process. You're at a higher level and you come out charged with ideas. Like many parts of your brain have been unlocked. I would leave behind outside the bathroom notebooks and a keyboard, musical instrument to make music, because ideas were coming at me. Once the depression and the focus on the negative, which doesn't serve you, that baggage, those patterns are not reactivated, you don't latch on to them, they're gone, then this process and what it does is magical. It just activates large amounts of your brain that were previously unutilized. So right now, creativity is at its peak. And now it comes naturally. Now I don't have to force myself after dealing with a tough day, tough relationship, my depression, cold weather, and then come up with this. No, now all of those other preliminary steps are gone because I stuck with the process. I have no choice. It's in my back. Led it to its natural progression. Okay, some things took a little longer. Would have been nice to have them earlier, but fine. And continuity towards the process and its positive impact. By pursuing that, I am at this stage happy to report what I have right now. So the first thing that happens is, like I've mentioned in one of these videos, I am in a state where the rest of the world, while I'm completely immersed in it, one with everything, is also at a level of detachment, which in the past would have been an imbalance. How so? You're attached to emotions, you're possessive about things, you crave something, comfort or whatever you're seeking, and not getting it has a negative impact which lingers in your mind, right? So that doesn't happen anymore. No attachment, no possessions, lightness of everything. Now more of the world opens up to you in the sense that your consciousness is expanded. More of the world is available to you to experience in one moment. Most of us, when we live one moment, it is just a hassled, frazzled existence going from one moment to the next. And instead of living in the middle, you're too busy rushing to the next thing. That doesn't happen. And you realize there is so much vastness, vastly expanded consciousness, actually living off that 1 minute and being able to experience everything as it is without the coloring of the prism of your mind through your ego, past experiences, baggage. You're carrying all of that in you. And now I have none of that. What was the most minimum required, meaning being in a relationship, being in a place where there was cold and depressive weather, has also been removed. And I've worked steadily towards this progress. So I'm happy to report that the struggle that comes from just having a Kundalini awakening to an unprepared mind, that is gone through tough, hard work over 15 years and just harrowing circumstances up in the mind. Happy to report that I'm on the other side, sane, much better than before, and better equipped to deal with the outside world, which is why I give advice to others about some of these things. But remember that it is going through a lot of hardship for me personally to be able to come up with these answers, put them in effect in my life, and then report the final result outcome that helped me to others. So that's the first thing. Less baggage, less depression, more lightness, less attachment, more being in the moment, and better access to all of my creative abilities. The other thing I've realized is the threshold for what I thought was, oh, now this is impossible, now I'm depressed, now I'll stop working. And because of some very pragmatic tools that I've put in my mind, affirmations, pushing yourself, having a routine, doing it according to patterns, and that activates itself to make itself an upward spiral automatically. So in tandem, two things were happening. Me coping from the aftermath of a Kundalini awakening, trying to heal, trying to set the new patterns, having failure, leading to depression, and seasonally I was having wild movements in my emotion. Two, now being calm, and now what do I do with this? Yes, you accomplished the first stage of coping with the awakening. What do you do with this? And that part is joy. In the past, I would have been concerned about so many things even before starting something and been bogged down by other people's opinions. Now, I managed to keep my mouth shut, not get angry about these obstacles, and also spread this message to other people who are willing to grasp it, accept it. So now I'm creating videos with other people, not just by myself. Now I'm spreading this gospel of YouTube videos, self-help, and every technique that I've learned while making the videos, and I use that as creative output. It's not enough with the Kundalini process. Yes, initially you are isolated, you keep yourself away so that you can cope with the process, but it's not enough to groove patterns to just do that and remove older patterns. You have to actively go out, put new patterns that now become your reality, and they are more joyous and naturally driven by your inclinations that are conducive to your best health, to your best mental health, to what creates joy of fulfillment within you, what you feel is achievement, and now you've found a tribe. Your vibe attracts your tribe, as it says. Now the tribe is people I have chosen who are willing to do the same activities, have fun doing them. Hey, seek that friendship with you and enjoy the whole process. But it couldn't have happened if I have allowed negative tendencies to appear through my speech, through my actions towards anybody. You have to show a lot of restraint as this process is happening within you. Inside there might be chaos, but outside you have to be, no matter what anybody else is doing, you have to be your best and be compassionate to the person and suffer a little bit. Gradually you find out that the right people stay with you, the wrong people automatically go away. You didn't have to do anything. You didn't have to expend your energy. You didn't have to be affected by it. And it comes through the steady practice and discipline of mindfulness, meditation, staying within your own self, being conscious of each action, each word, being mindful that you don't hurt others, and also constantly strive to put boundaries and define things where, hey, maybe I was gullible and thinking that I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings and I was going along with this, but this was bad for me. Might as well, as nicely as possible, hurt some feelings that might last for a minute or two, but I am free to do what I am doing. And I did it with the least amount of damage to that relationship. That has helped a lot. Going towards something that you actually like and not what will please other people. That helps a lot. So, in effect, what has happened is my entire life is now one. What's on the outside, what I say, what I think, what I feel. There are no two realities, one I would like to live and the one I'm actually dealing with. Through my own actions, I have now created the reality that I want and is conducive to the Kundalini process. But the good news, if you're watching all these videos over, many 5-6 years, whatever I've been making them, the good news is that at the end of the tunnel, there is great bliss. And all the agitation, all the problems, all the suffering was just related to the old self. Not adjusting to this new reality. It knows it's not going to last. The new self has adjusted, brought itself out to the forefront, and is handling everything very well. And my job was just to do that. My meaning, the self that is witnessing all of this, the body that is going through all of this, and allow divine will to manifest through you. So that's a report on what's been going on with my Kundalini process and how successfully I've been able to handle all the challenges, and the light at the end of the tunnel is beautiful. It comes from patience, restraint, making the right changes when you need to, allowing toxicity to go out of you without inflicting it on somebody, no matter how agitated you might be, stilling the mind, constant calm. A question I got asked recently is about thoughts in the mind and knowledge of things. And I found that with the Kundalini process, it's important to still the mind and the answers come automatically. The part of you that is asking the questions and constantly questions are popping up, even as you are trying to still the mind and do meditation, those are also part of the meditation process. What is one of the simplest techniques people teach you about meditation? Watch your thoughts. And you'll see yourself latching on and asking that question and being agitated by that thought. And then one part of you just goes back and says, no, just witness it. Don't even ask that question out. Don't even think it. Just witness the thought. Then that thought goes away. Something else comes up. Did you need that thought to be answered? Or was it just your mind showing up all the time to agitate you as you're trying to be calm and meditative? Knowledge is less important than what you feel and how you feel. And that's under your control, through a control of your emotions, through using breath practices and meditation. And thankfully, because of those techniques, my process has been going well. I hope you found this helpful. Yes, please keep leaving your feedback, comments. Please hit like, subscribe to this channel, and let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions. Peace, love, blessings to all. Be well.